ahead.
Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We go a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non-dogmatic way. Affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background. Attendance today at this meeting is voluntary, and we are here for the benefit of learning from and sharing with other parents whose child has passed away. It is understood that our discussions are intended to be confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. However, these Zoom meetings are helpful to parents all around the world, and they are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members who are not able to attend this meeting live can also watch. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers to allow parents to be informed about many possible ways to heal, to connect with their children, and to learn about the afterlife. The views expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect those of Helping Parents Heal, and we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone, and thank you, Shelly, for being here.
Yes, thank you so much, Shelly, for being here. And I'll just do a very short introduction. Shelly Wilson is an author, intuitive medium, and conscious creator who is passionate about helping people to wake up to their greatness. She supports others as they navigate their own journey into consciousness to experience aliveness. Shelly's books, 28 Days to a New You, Connect to the You Within, Journey into Consciousness, and Embracing the Magic Within are available in paperback and ebook. She is also the creator of Cards of Empowerment and Clarity Cards. You can find out more at www.shellyrwilson.com, as well as www.embracingthemagicwithin.com. And I'll post those in the chat box. And now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Shelly Wilson.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Elizabeth and Irene, and all of you that are part of Helping Parents Heal. I am so grateful for this opportunity to present to you this evening. And what I would love to do is just want to remind you, first of all, that absolutely our loved ones in spirit are near, that even though they don't have physical form, that they are very much energy. And so the more that we are able to tune in and pay attention to those signs, pay attention to those sensations that we feel, we're going to be able to heighten our awareness so that we'll be able to feel their presence and we'll be able to know that it's absolutely them connecting to us. Sometimes they do speak to us in our dream state, but many people may not remember their dreams. So a lot of times our loved ones will come to us while we are fully awake, and they'll pop in with a memory or a hello, showing us what they're doing or something that they were a fond memory, and so on. So I just want to remind you definitely that the more you take note of what you see with your physical eyes and within your mind's eye, in your imagination, as well as those cardinals and bluebirds and hummingbirds, and also those butterflies and dragonflies and other animal messengers, the cloud formations, the number sequences, the pennies or dimes that we may find in certain locations where we shouldn't find coins, those unexpected places, and lots of other ways, the twinkling lights, the flickering lights, the phone ringing and no one's there, and sometimes just their number showing up or their name, things like that. That's the way that they communicate with us. And once again, the more that we just recognize it's absolutely them talking to us, they're there to provide comfort as well as letting us know that they're living through us. And so that's why they encourage us to continue to live and to become those shining light parents. So tonight, what I want to do is answer some questions. First of all, I want to, if you have a question about anything, I'm open to answering that. And also, I will be doing some messages, bringing through your loved ones. So what I'm feeling is if you've got a few questions now, I'll answer a few, then bring through a few loved ones, and then answer a few questions as we wrap up this evening. So is there anyone that has a question right now? And you can post it in the chat, and Elizabeth will read that.
Well, we
I,
have a question right here.
yes,
They are living through us. Might you explain it?
yes,
Tell
yes.
us a little
So
more about that.
that is a great question. And definitely some people may wonder, what exactly do I mean by that? And knowing that as you continue life, as you continue to find joy, as you continue to honor the emotions and do those things that you love to do, even do those things that your loved ones love to do. They're absolutely with us, enjoying those same experiences. So that's why they encourage us to do those things that maybe we had talked about doing, but just didn't get around to it. And now we're not quite sure if we should do it without them. Their answer is absolutely yes, do it, because they want to do it through us. And just knowing that sometimes you may be guided to bring a personal item of theirs with you, but at the same time, just know that their energetic presence is absolutely with you. And the more that you can even tune into when their energy blends with you, sometimes it will be like a hug wrapping around us, or it may be chills or tingling or buzzing. And sometimes what I find is it's just one side versus all over. So it's mainly just beginning to tune into the subtleties of that energetic connection.
That's beautiful. I love that. And I love the fact that we help them enjoy all of these things that we're enjoying ourselves by living them ourselves. And I try to do that every day. And there's a really interesting question here. Amy's saying, I am trying to meditate and it's hard with my busy mind, but I am starting to have conversations with my daughter in my mind during meditation. I still struggle to believe that I'm not doing this myself. How do you think I can finally begin to differentiate that it's her and not me?
So as you're talking, I'm getting chills all over. And I will tell you that spirit's way of communicating to me and through me that is truth, that's validation. And the thing is your heart, your soul knows it, but your mind wants to question it, because that's where the doubt comes in. And I absolutely assure you that you are having conversations. You can communicate aloud with your loved one, or just speak mind to mind, soul to soul. And you absolutely have to be able to trust whatever it is that you're hearing in your mind, or whatever you're seeing in your mind, and especially what you're feeling, because that's a way that they will connect with you.
That's a beautiful answer, and I agree 100%. And let's see. There are so many good questions here, so I want to try to make sure that I get all of them. But one of the questions is saying, I don't feel my son. Am I doing something wrong? And this is resonating with a lot of other people who are saying, yeah, good questions. So could you maybe talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to assure you you're doing nothing wrong. The main thing is their energy can be very subtle. What we want to remember is, as humans, we're in a dense physical body. They no longer have a physical body, so their energy is lighter. And think of it once again more like an orb, or a burst of energy. So it's not going to be taking up as much space as our physical body would. And sometimes it could be just a very small energy ball, shall we say. And so the main thing is knowing that it's going to be subtle. It may be like a breeze, a whisper, a lightness coming through. And as I said, you may feel it just on certain parts of your body, but not all over. So this is where you do want to begin heightening that awareness and taking note of those sensations. If you feel a twitch or a tingle or a buzz, just take note of that, whether you say it aloud or in your mind, and that's going to help to fine tune those senses. Now, some people are very visual, so therefore you're going to see a lot more perhaps than you feel. And some people are very audible, so you may actually hear words in your mind. Now, I want to share just a brief story here, real quick. I actually had a mother and her 6-year-old son come for a healing session a couple of days ago. And just a beautiful, he's 6 years old, and his father passed in a car accident when he was an infant. And I just knew that this healing session was much more than just a healing. And so as he's on the table and I'm giving Reiki, he said, you know, my daddy's not here. My daddy's in heaven. And I said, yes, he's here, he's with you, but he doesn't have the physical body. He says, I know that. And he said, I hear him in my head. And one time he told me, I'm proud of you. And I said, that's absolutely him. You have to know that. And he was sharing more. And then at the end of the session, he says, I hear something else in my head. And I said, what's that? And he says, this is a very good day. And so, of course, you know, once again, knowing that sometimes things are very gentle and subtle, as I said, but there's going to be so many messages, but it's the main thing is getting out of our head, dropping into our heart and feeling more or even believing more.
That's beautiful. Well, I have a lot of people asking about the fact that, you know, they don't have a body, we don't have a body. And Shelly is asking, it occurred to me today that I won't get to see my son when we reunite, as I won't have my body and therefore my eyes. So how do our loved ones see us? So could you maybe talk about that?
Yes. Well, I will tell you, of course, even with this type of communication, they will show us that. So we will know the connection will be undeniable. So it's something that we don't want to stress about. And I will tell you too, I've had some people be concerned about becoming an organ donor because they want to make sure that they have their organs, even though they don't have the physical body, that kind of thing. And so I want to definitely assure you that you will know, you will absolutely be able to recognize your loved one. You will feel that connection. And if anything, they will show themselves to you, that kind of thing, where you'll be able to know it's them for sure.
Wonderful. So I have a lot of people also asking about how to better connect. One is saying, I also can hear my son inside my mind, but don't feel him. How can I feel his presence more? I have started some development classes. Could you maybe just give some tips on how to connect?
Yes. So the thing is too, is you may be more visual or once again, more audible. This is where you even want to understand what sense you use more, if that makes sense. So some people are very sensitive to energies. They feel things, they can tune in that way. But once again, some people are more audible. The thing is you can absolutely fine tune all of your senses. But the main thing, once again, is tuning into the subtleties and begin taking note when you feel sensations on your body. And when you do that, you're going to heighten that awareness so you'll be able to feel that energy more. And it is a practice, it's a development. You can sit in meditation or do what we call sit in the power. And this isn't quite the same as meditation. It's where you're literally just sitting in the presence of spirit, of your loved ones, of your angels, guides, gods, consciousness, whatever word or term resonates with you personally, and just being able to feel that energy without attempting to receive any type of information. You're just sitting in the power is what we call it.
That's beautiful. Yes, sitting in the power. We've done a lot of exercises like that, and it is so, so wonderful. I have two answers for the physical body that I love. I just have to read them. Lori says that she asked her son why she couldn't see him, and he said, because you have eyes, which I think is absolutely, it gives me chills when I said that. Maggie said, we are energetic footprints rather than our physical bodies. I understand that this is how we will recognize each other without bodies. So yes, I like that as well. I have a question from Diane, and I think it's a very good one. My son was a strong Christian and didn't believe in mediums and was against me seeing one for my mother's death. How do I know that it's okay with him to try to connect with him? I miss him so much. He's been gone for 18 months.
Yes. So definitely, I can recognize when there may be a belief system, a religious belief that, definitely can deter that type of communication. And my sense is you know in your heart what feels right to you. And even though your son may not have um, endorsed it, shall we say, I get this huge feeling that he's saying, well, you don't necessarily need to go to someone to be able to connect, but just know that it's me. Know that I'm here. And if anything, focus on building that communication directly with him. Once again, mind to mind, soul to soul, and trusting what comes through, because I feel like he's already planting seeds for you, giving you signs, but a lot of it is making sure that it's really them. And just as I'm seeing this, I'm seeing a wind chime, and I'm seeing that it's indoors
Whoops.
and it's not access to a fan or anything, but it's still moving. So there's something about just knowing the sounds of the chime is a way that he's saying, I'm here.
That's beautiful. Goodness. So we have a lot of other really good questions. One maybe you could talk a little bit about. Do our loved ones know that they were about to transition? Could you maybe say something? This is from
Yes.
Maria.
Okay, that's a great question. And the thing is I believe in some instances, yes. And in some instances, they have that realization after they're already in the process. My perception is that once they go through that transition process, they go through that life review, and they get to experience life through their lens as well as those around them as well. So they get to see how their life and actions and words affected those around them. And if anything, my sense is a lot of people are concerned if a loved one suffered. And just know that their soul absolutely did not, but their physical body may have experienced something, discomfort or so on, but that's not something that they carried with them or something that their soul felt.
That's wonderful. I have some people asking about suicide and about where our kids are if they pass by suicide. Can we connect with them as easily? Could you maybe address that as well?
Absolutely. And just know that anytime someone chooses to make a transition, that they're absolutely going to get even more healing once they get to the other side. Because sometimes what we recognize is when the choice is made, they are only making it on a limited capacity of knowledge. They're not able to see the full outcome, or sometimes they don't even realize the extent of their choice. And what I fully believe, and what I brought through as well from loved ones that have passed, is that they get even more healing and they get to that place of understanding. And then they're there to also help their loved ones here to understand perhaps why that choice was made. But they always want people to recognize too that they don't want anyone to blame themselves or to even feel like there was something more that could have been done.
That's a beautiful answer. And Jim is asking a question that other people are wanting to know the answer to as well. How much of who we are in this world remains with us on the other side?
That's a great question. And the thing is I feel like we can choose to take as much with us as we desire, but a lot of times once we leave this incarnation, we take, enough memories, enough love, that kind of thing. But knowing too, once again, as I've mentioned before, is they can still live through those of us here. That's why many times too, when our loved one makes a transition, that often that it could be a catalyst for someone here, meaning that it can propel them forward. Even as I have mentioned before to this group was founded because loved ones made their transition. And just knowing what a beautiful resource this is, and had that experience not happened, this group very well could not have been here or been what it needs to be, if that makes sense. So we have to trust too that we don't know everything on a human level, but on a soul level, there's a greater act at work, shall we say.
That's beautiful. We have a whole bunch of questions, and I don't know if you wanted to be able to get to doing a few
Mhm.
readings and then
Yes,
maybe
yes.
get back to the questions.
That sounds perfect. Sounds
Okay.
perfect to me.
But we can hang on and I'll try to get as many as possible after, but thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So remember, when the information comes through, it comes through as thoughts, feelings, impressions. Everything is running through my human filter. So my life experiences, what I read, what I know, that kind of thing. I always do my best to give what I get as it comes through. Sometimes the messages are very literal and sometimes they're more symbolic. So just keep that in mind. And I know too that sometimes loved ones will do what we call piggyback, and they will all say they're coming together to build that energy so that more messages can come through. And also just keep in mind that even though you may not be getting an individual message, many times when you choose to come together in a way such as this, the universe calls this a divine appointment. So just keep in mind that you're all here gathered this evening for a reason, and even those that may be watching this video later. So the first one that I have coming through here is I have a young boy, teen is what he looks like to me. I see him, dark hair. He may be Hispanic or he's just darker skin in that way. I'm hearing the name Juan to be acknowledged. And I'm seeing him, he's dressed up. He's showing me in black pants, white dress shirt, and a black tie. I am hearing 13, but I get the sense that he may not be 13 when he passed, that he may be 13 now. So I just want to mention that. I'm also hearing the name Philip or Felipe that may be connected. Now, this doesn't mean this young man's name is Juan, but I'm hearing to acknowledge that name could be a connector for him. Okay.
So what we'd ask for you to do is to let us know if any of this resonates with you. And if so, please just let us know in the chat box so that we can get to you and unmute you. Does this resonate with anyone in the not in the audience, in the group of people who are here this evening?
Yes. I'm getting a sense too that his death was sudden and that it was unexpected. And I get a sense too that there may have been an allergic reaction or anaphylactic shock. So I'm getting something along that. I'm feeling like the throat closing. So I'm getting something along those lines.
So does anyone resonate with this? Is anyone able to take this? And not yet. We don't have anybody answering quite yet. Which
Okay.
is fine.
Let me see what else I'm getting here too. This image that I see, I get the sense that it was almost a type of celebration. So I don't know. And I'm getting a sense of that he does have a sister that is here, still here, but there's something about hearing the name Cora Beth, and it could be Cora and Beth, like there's two separate names.
Okay, good. So we have Linda Stevens who's saying that it is possibly. So let's see. Maggie is saying this is very specific. So Linda, does enough of this resonate with you to want to be unmuted, or not enough, or you still have people coming in? It might belong to somebody who's coming in right now too.
Let's unmute Linda and let's just see how she says that
She said, yeah,
resonates.
okay.
I
Irene,
asked her to unmute already.
okay, good.
Here she is. Hi, Linda.
Hey, Linda, so how does that make
Hi.
sense to you?
My grandson was, I raised him, so he's actually my son, is half Hispanic
Okay.
and half white. He's got, of course, the dark hair and dark eyes. He's got a sister named Elizabeth.
Mhm.
However, he was 21 and his death was sudden and unexpected.
Does it make sense where you would have a picture of him? Because I know he's showing me a captured moment in time with the white shirt, black pants, and black tie.
Yes, but it's a senior picture.
Okay, did he look young for his age by chance, Linda?
Yes.
Because I just get this youthfulness about him for sure. Now, the other thing, was there something either with the throat swelling or something with the anaphylactic shock or allergic reaction?
No, not
Okay.
that I know of.
Okay, because I'm getting that there's something, or that's how I'm wanting to interpret this situation. As I'm feeling into this energy, though, there's something also connected to the heart. Does that make sense with him?
He had a broken heart when he died.
Broken. Okay, okay. Let me just feel into this for a moment, because I feel like he could be trying to get a message here for you also. Now, was his passing by choice?
No.
No. Okay. There's something that I'm wanting to connect. I can't say that I'm absolutely with you, Linda, but I'm definitely feeling heart pain. And there's something connected to this with Cora. Now, is there a Cora connected to the family? I know you said Elizabeth is his sister, but is there a Cora or the name Juan or Felipe or Philip?
Just the Juan. He's got an uncle named Juan.
And is Juan still here on this side?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me just feel into this for a moment. And he was 21 when he passed?
Yes. And you also mentioned something about he was celebrating something.
Yes, I got a sense of there being a celebration, that even perhaps this picture being shown was a celebration.
Yeah, he was getting ready to go into the Marines.
Okay. I'm getting chills now as you're saying this, so I feel like there's someone else that this is connected to also, but I definitely feel like this is his way of stepping forward. And can I just get his first name, please, Linda?
Andres.
Andreas? Okay, let me just feel into this. Now, he's giving me this sense too, because you've already acknowledged he's your grandson, but you raised him like a son. And he's giving me this sense about you showing him the way things needed to be. So I just get this sense of, telling him, teaching him, being an example for him. But there's something about, he's telling me things weren't always easy. And of course, this can have many meanings, but I just get this sense that there was something either involved with substances also, or once again, some type of reaction. And I know you indicated, to your knowledge, there wasn't any type of allergic reaction. You said the broken heart, the heart feeling, but there is something I know that he's wanting to convey. His energy feels very soft, is the way that I want to describe it. Very gentle, like, bear, gentle bear is the way that I want to describe it. Because when I feel into him, it feels like he wouldn't hurt anyone. And I know that even wanting to go into the Marines, I feel like he gave that so much thought, but it's almost like he couldn't, it was almost like he felt it was his duty, but that he couldn't even think about doing it, if that makes sense to you. Because I feel like to some aspect he was torn in regards to having to fulfill certain duties. Does that make sense as I say that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And once again, it's how I'm feeling into this interpretation. It's almost like he was going to step up and do what needed to be done, but at the same time, he wasn't necessarily gung-ho about it, if that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, I tried to change his mind and he conveyed to me that I wasn't going to change his
mind. Okay. I get a feeling from him of saying, this is my duty. This is my responsibility.
And
so
that's what he would tell others.
Okay, because it's almost like he's giving me the sense it's like he wanted to leave his mark. He wanted to make a change or make a difference, is the feeling that I get. What wants to leave with you, Linda, is just this immense amount of gratitude for being there for him and supporting him and telling him what was right and what was wrong. So I just know that his love for you is there, and just know that there's going to be ways that he communicates. And if anything, as you said, perhaps it's the senior picture where he's wearing the black tie and the black pants and the white shirt, but there's something about even maybe bringing that out or looking at it more often and having conversation with him.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds very much like him. I
Good.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Linda. So I have Peggy who's saying that she can take a lot of what you're saying. Her son actually took his life at 17, but his sister is Berkeley Corey, and he has collars and ties always for school. So I don't know if what Peggy is saying resonates. It's not exactly the same age, but just
Right.
wanted to let you know.
Okay. Let me just feel into this for a moment. Now, he took his own life, but was there also a connection with Juan or Felipe? Because I know those names are connectors in some way, or the Cora Beth too.
She says that she just made an order for Felipe's to, I
A restaurant?
guess, a restaurant. And she's
Hmm.
also saying that his sister's name is Berkeley Corey, which is not Cora Beth, but I guess.
A little bit reversed, kind of.
So anyway, but that was wonderful for Linda, and whatever you want to do, we can move
Okay,
forward.
let me see. I'm not feeling anything with a connection for the other one with that additional information.
Okay.
As I said, though, there was something, as I said, connected to allergic reaction or anaphylactic shock. So I feel like this could be another spirit wanting to step forward. What I'm seeing in my mind right now is a young man, young teen again. This time I'm seeing him and he could be 10 to 12. What I'm seeing is his teeth are what's prominent, because I'm still seeing some baby teeth, but the adult teeth are coming in and there's a gap between the front teeth. So they haven't straightened. This means he hasn't had any type of braces at this point. Now I get the sense too that reddish brown hair, and I'm seeing some freckles on his face, and I just kind of see him, very casual t-shirt, jeans, giving me this sense of being very curious, very adventurous. I'm seeing him without shoes, so I get this sense that almost his parents would have a hard time keeping shoes on his feet, that he would prefer to go barefoot. This could mean a sense too that he enjoyed being outdoors, but I see tousled hair. So just, very playful. But as I said, I feel like he's 10 to 12 years old, asking for some more information. Let's see here.
So we have Jessica saying she has a Lauren who is 14. This sounds kind of like him. He has brown hair, tousled hair. Let's see, tousled hair, always threw his shoes around. Let's see. And then Eric is saying possibly me, allergic reaction doesn't fit. Is the allergic reaction?
Doesn't have to fit with this one.
Okay.
Okay, because I know that was coming in, but I don't feel like with this young man, and I'm not even feeling yet how he passed at this point. He's coming in because what he's saying in my mind, can I ask you a question? And I'm like, okay, I want to ask you a question. I want to connect with you and find out who you are and where you belong. I'm getting a sense, I'm hearing the name Taylor or Tyler. And once again, this could be a first name, last name. It can be a connector name also, once again.
Okay, so we do have Yvette who's saying that her son Malcolm's hair is correct. He stopped breathing from overdose, but that was at 23 years old. But his tooth broke when he was 13. He broke his front tooth. So, okay, so Yvette is saying no Taylor or Tyler, I guess. though. So let's see. Erica, does all of this fit now that you know that, okay, you don't have any Taylor or Tyler? Okay. Could the child come younger even if he is past older? Someone's asking.
Yes, they can. If they're showing me something, it's got to be either what they look like, there's a picture of them, and this could be something too that was just a fond memory, that kind of thing coming forth. That's why I always know that there's something, and as I said, there's the gap between the teeth. So I'm not seeing a broken tooth, but I'm seeing the front teeth, that there's a gap. They haven't had braces at this point, but I'm feeling like they're around the age 10 to 12 because I can still see baby teeth in there too when they smile.
Danielle is saying, my son sounds a lot like it when he was younger. Space between his teeth. Sister is Taylor.
Okay.
And then Diane is saying that her son had a front tooth missing. Let's see. Amy is saying, my son was like that young. He had a gap, and a good friend, Tyler.
And I definitely get this one, barefoot, being outdoors. And I'm seeing him, as I said, t-shirt and jeans. So I feel like, that he would dress, but he just didn't like to have shoes on. So I'm getting a sense that that's an important aspect of him also.
Okay, so Danielle, who already said that his sister is Taylor, says that he was always outdoors. Let's see. Cami is saying my son was 10 and had a gap in his teeth, but no Tyler or Taylor. Okay.
Who's the one that has the sister with the name Taylor?
That's let's see, Diane, let's see. No, Danielle, I'm sorry. So Danielle, maybe Irene, could you help us unmute Danielle to see if that's possible? And Danielle is saying, me, Danielle. She's
right there on the front.
Yeah, I asked her to unmute. She's here, right here.
okay. Yes, that's wonderful.
So Danielle, that makes sense to you with his age, what he looked like, and then his sister's Taylor?
Yes.
Okay. Can I go ahead and get your son's first name then, please?
Blake.
Blake. Okay, let me see if we can get him here stronger. Now, as soon as you said Blake, I felt the energy surrounding me. So even as you're sitting in that space, can you feel him blending with you? I feel it down my left leg too. Okay. And he gives me this sense about being very curious, asking a lot of questions, being very adventurous. And I just get this feeling from him, like he would ask you questions and you're like, I don't have the answer. You'll look it up, whatever you could do to appease him, or you would tell him. But I just get this strong sense of having a big imagination with him also. Okay. Now, when I feel into his energy even more, I am getting this sense of just this immense amount of love coming forth, but this immense amount of peace. So I get this sense that there may have been some troubles in his life, or he was feeling confused at times, something along that. But I just get this sense of him telling you he's found the answers, he's found peace. And he wants you to know that he's absolutely still with you and still very curious. But there's something about your curiosity is peaked now, that you're the one asking questions. You're the one needing to know more. He's showing me this image too, like on a scooter. So what it looks like is like a skateboard with the thing up. I guess it's a scooter. Now, did he have one of those?
Yes.
Okay, because this is like his mode of transportation right now. And I just see him, going around, and as I've got chills all over as I'm saying this. So what he wants you to see him too is that's how he's getting around. That is his quickest way to get from point A to point B. And I just know too that there's something about, I don't know if you've thought about getting on it or you have gotten on it before to test it out, but he's just giving me this sense about be careful. So I just know that sometimes we may not be as agile as they are. So there's something about that. He's just giving you a heads up. But I know that he's absolutely with you. And there's something too about because he's showing me your hair. So I don't know if you've recently changed your hair or you've made some changes with it,
Yes.
but he's pointing that out because he's just giving me this sense about you look good, you look great, you're so beautiful. So I know he's happy to see you smile, happy to see you laugh, because he says he knows it hasn't been easy for you, but once again, he wants you to be happy for him so that he can enjoy life through you once again. Okay.
Thank you.
And just once again, just keep trusting whatever you see in your mind's eye, what he's conveying to you, that it's absolutely coming from him.
Thank you.
Okay. And I know, once again, some days may feel a little lighter and some days not so much, but he's reminding you, you'll get through it. You'll get through it. You're strong.
Thank you.
So I'm glad we got that message connected. And once again, they're giving information and it's a matter of connecting it to the right person. But once again, there may be others that some resonated or all resonated. And just know that that message is for you absolutely as well. Okay. So I want to just do one more message and then we'll do a few more questions. Now I'm getting this sense, and this one, it feels heavy. And I know anytime our loved ones transition, it is a great loss for us. But this one feels like this individual was absolutely missing, or there was an abduction connected to it. But I'm getting this sense that this was a younger person. I feel female energy, and I feel that she was around the ages of 3 to 5. This may have been another parent involved with this, not saying absolute, but I'm just getting this sense about being missing or an abduction, but then there was a recovery. So I'm just getting that. And as I said, I know this is a heavy situation, of course, but I feel like it's very important to bring this through. Okay.
Mary is saying, yes, I was thinking that might be the case. So Irene, can you unmute Mary if possible?
Sure.
Okay, good. So
I've asked her to unmute.
good. Mary, are you here? Can you say?
Yes. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
So Mary, this makes sense with you with a daughter?
Yes.
Okay. And I know, as I said, that this is a very heartbreaking situation, but I'm just getting this sense of needing to reassure you that life continues, that love continues. And I'm just getting this sense of, anything that you have been revisiting in your mind or questioning in your mind, that she's wanting to assure you to not dwell on that any longer. I just get this sense, of innocence, of purity, of goodness, of light, and she wants you to focus that same energy on that, because she's giving me the sense, I have my wings, I fly free, I'm free, and then I just know that she doesn't want you to dwell on anything that doesn't offer you peace, is how she's doing that. So our humanness, of course, may be angry and frustrated and confused and all of that, but I just know that she wants to continue to remind you to keep focusing on the time that you had together, and also just to keep focusing on knowing that she has her wings and that she's flying free.
Is she with her brother?
In this moment, what she's just showing me is literally as if she were dressed up for a Christmas thing with the angel wings and the white halo and everything. That's what she's showing me. So the Christmas festivities. I'm not seeing anyone with her at this moment, but she's just giving me this sense because, and by chance, did she ever dress up as an angel for Christmas or for the nativity scene or anything like that?
Yes, she did. And we used to call her my angel. And my first gift was a beautiful Boyd's bear that was dressed up in a white angel outfit with wings.
Okay. Okay. And as you're saying this, Mary, I've got chills all down my body again. So I know, that there's something, even if there's a picture of her in that, it's in your mind, it's etched in your mind. I just know that that's what she's wanting to bring forth at this time for you. And knowing that void spare that you've got and so on, that there's so much to be there with that. Okay. Now, recognizing, since you asked about it, you have a son in spirit also.
Yes.
Now, what I do also is just do my best to go direct. So do we want to see if we can bring him through as well?
Yes.
Okay, may I have his first name, please?
James.
Okay, let's see if we can get his energy here. Now, as I'm feeling in, first of all, I'm just feeling flush all over. And to me, that can mean being healing, Reiki healing coming forth. I'm just getting this sense when I feel into him, first of all, strong heart connection, but there may have also been something connected to his heart or lungs. Now, as I say that, Mary, does that make sense to you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not
The
sure.
feeling of the healing, there's something too, because literally I'm feeling flush all over. Was his death recent?
It was 2 years ago.
Okay. And in our heart and minds, that may seem very recent, but he's giving me this sense, something about there's still some healing happening, perhaps is what he's trying to say, but there's something too, because when I look at him, I just get this sense of he's either concerned about stepping forward, or there's some things he doesn't want to discuss publicly. So as I say that, does that make sense to you, Mary?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, let me just feel into this a bit more. Okay, when I feel into him, once again, there's either some hesitancy where he's either not wanting to, a private person. Was James a private person?
Yes, very.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm like, why can I not get this? There's something about him not wanting to have a public demonstration. So I know, because I literally like see him hanging out over here, almost like nobody can see me. You can't see me, right? And I'm like, no, step forward, come onto the stage. And then here's your daughter in her angel outfit, with the wand, and she's just on full display. So I know she's coming forward. James is okay, but there's something about him wanting to have private conversation with you, heart to heart, once again, mind to mind. And I just know that, in other words, because he's telling me he doesn't want his business aired. He doesn't want everyone to know, that kind of thing. So there is something about you just having that dialogue directly with him. Okay. Mary, what you want to do is absolutely trust when you talk to him, trust whatever you hear in your mind, whatever you feel, and know that that's really him.
My very last question, I saw him on my bed, on the edge of my bed. My husband walked in I was half going to sleep, but I wasn't. My husband walked in my room and I screamed, "Do not talk. James is talking to me." He says, "I don't hear him." He says, "He's right there talking." And then all of a sudden, like I was like full awake. I said, "What was that?" And every day I question that. That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yes,
That could
yeah,
be real.
it's absolutely real. And
Thank
the
you.
thing is, you were in that zone, as I like to call it, where you were receptive. And then when your husband came in, and immediately you felt like it interrupted, but there's something about knowing that it was really him. You can get back to that state of being, but there's something about, even when I mentioned before about sitting in the power. So just get to a relaxed state. Don't call it meditation. Just call it, you're sitting in this power. You want to connect with James, and do it in your bedroom where you're on your bed, because obviously, since he came forth in that way, that's where he feels comfortable to have conversation with you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So let's see if there's any more questions that I can
have lots
address.
of questions. Oh my gosh. And Mary, I'm just so happy for you. And I think this one is a really good one. We don't have a lot of time, but I'd love for you to answer this one. Why did I feel my son more right after he passed and less now? This is from Aaron. He showed me some amazing signs in the days and weeks right after he passed. I feel like I'm getting these less now.
Okay. And the thing is, what we want to remember is here on earth, we have a concept of time. On the other side, they don't. So it may be just a moment that passes, and here it may be months or years, that kind of thing. So remember, don't get discouraged. If anything, ask them to step forward, ask them to talk, just like in Spirit's giving me this example, but we have friends and family here on the earth plane that of course are alive, and sometimes we think about them, but we don't necessarily reach out. We don't necessarily make a phone call or send a text, but they're still on our mind. And the thing is even our loved ones in spirit on the other side, same way. It's just a matter of, are we going to have a conversation with them, or are we just going to think about them? So don't get discouraged. If anything, when you're feeling that nudge to have a chat, then do so, but don't feel like he's got to be the one to initiate it all the time, if that makes sense.
That's beautiful. I have another question that's very interesting to me. Sherry is saying that one night when she couldn't sleep, she had a life review from the point of view of her son's point of view to when he transitioned. Was that for my son's benefit? I felt like he was experiencing it with me and I was with him, and that he was with me at the time. What do you think about that?
I'm getting chills all over it. And to me, this was a gift, is what I'm hearing. And the thing is you had questions that you needed answers to, and he was able to show it to you through his eyes. And that's where, once again, you got to be able to trust our humanness. When we start opening up to more, when we start asking those questions, who am I? Why am I here? Is this all there is? Meaning this human life existence. When we start realizing that there is so much more, and that once again, we're all energetic beings, and that life does continue after life, it is just a matter of believing and knowing and trusting and connecting intentionally.
That's wonderful. That Dolores is asking a very good question. Would an individual who is an introvert and very private on earth resist connecting with a medium?
Very possibly.
Yes,
What
we
you want to
can.
remember, what you want to remember is, they're going to carry their personality with them. They can change. They can be more understanding and more compassionate and adaptable and that kind of thing. But many times they're very much, if they're very private on earth when they were here, more than likely they're going to be private when they get to the other side, until they realize too, wait a second, this is kind of fun, and this is a way I can connect. But I want to assure all of you once again that you can communicate directly with your children, with your loved ones in spirit. Once again, it's a matter of fine-tuning your senses so that you can absolutely tune in, because it's very subtle many times. And sometimes those kids are very loud and boisterous and know how to get your attention, and you're accustomed to that.
That's wonderful. So I want to ask a question that two people have asked this evening, and it's about guides. Could you maybe talk a little bit about guides? And then one person is asking, are our children our guides? Could you maybe address that?
Sure. So we all have guides. When we chose to come into physical body, we chose people to walk with us. So whether we think about it as our angels, our guides, the thing is we're all needing some type of assistance. Just like when we Google and need information, we know where to look. Well, think of this as Google within us, and those guides are helping us. And we can ask for guides to step forward too. Our children can absolutely, and other loved ones, be guides for us also, because they've got that bird's eye view, so to speak, vantage point. They're able to see things, but what we want to remember too is we're still having our human life experience. So they're not going to tell us our future. They're not going to interrupt the experiences that we're intended to have. But if anything, they can help us to navigate these waters of this human life experience and give us more clarity and more assurance, and if anything, more peace.
Beautiful. So Sherry is correcting what I said to you. This is about the life review. She's explaining to me that it was her life review from her point of view since his conception. So anyway, in either case, it's really beautiful and very profound, I think. And I just wanted to point that out so that let's see, and just see if you had any other thoughts about that. But well, Amy's asking, and this is because you were just talking about guides. How can we find out who our guides are? Is that something that you could maybe tell a little bit about?
So the main thing is the guides don't care about names. You know, that's one of those things. They can give us a name, they can show us a symbol, or we can call them something. But we as humans tend to like to have labels. So that's why we want to know people's names. We want to know who we're connecting with. And you can absolutely set an intention for a connection, for a meditation, and get to know more about who you're communicating with. Once again, you've got to be able to trust whatever comes into your mind, because if you're doubting it or questioning it or thinking you're making it up, then of course that energy is going to be there. So that's why you want to be able to trust whatever is popping into your mind.
That's beautiful. Georgie is asking a very profound question, and maybe this will be the last one, but
Okay.
she's asking, what is the purpose of life? Why did my child pass and not me? Could you maybe say a little bit about this and just let people know that everything
Well,
as it should be?
yes, that is a hard question. I mean, when I think about when we choose to incarnate, when we choose to come into physical form, we're here to have a human life experience. So I believe our purpose is to have a human life experience. But that experience can also involve challenges and triumphs. And this can also be where we're creating change. You know, if we can see that each one of us are drops in that ocean of oneness, we're all creating a ripple, and that everything that we choose to say and do affects those around us. What we want to remember is sometimes when we have situations that are heartbreaking and challenging, and even experiencing a loved one that makes their transition, and just knowing that it should not be the time, it's not the natural order of life as we like to think of, but this is where we recognize that sometimes there's things that we don't understand. And if we can see that every experience is an opportunity to learn and to grow, if anything, that's why we're here. That's why we're having this experience. So it doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean that it's things that we want to happen. But the main thing we want to know is we're here to have an experience, and that experience involves a gamut of emotions and experiences, and a lot of it is how we choose to perceive it and respond, and what is the outcome. And many times there's blessings and silver linings within those challenges. Just like this group, once again.
I love that. Actually, we have one of our affiliate groups in Tampa created this silver lining list that's beautiful. It's on our website. And anyone who's on here, please take a look at that list, because all of the parents in the group told about the silver linings that they had found from having their children pass. And One of them is being able to be together with all of you this evening and to be together with Shelly as well. And I truly appreciate you coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shelly.
Thank you.
And we always ask everyone to unmute and say thank you and goodbye at the end of the evening. There's so many wonderful things saying thank you to you already in this
Thank
chat
you.
box.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shelly.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Shelley.
Shelley.
Thank you. Good to see
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.
Good night.